Well, as it turns out, the U.S. Army cannot keep up with ammunition demand and production. And this is becoming a problem that's noticeable locally. And let me kind of get at that, because I was born and raised in Kansas City, Missouri, the area. And Independence, Missouri has Lake City Ammo Plant. That's the U.S. Army Small Arms Ammunition Plant that is currently being operated by Winchester to produce all of the small arms ammo for the U.S. Army. And what we're talking about 5.56 NATO, 9mm, 7.62 NATO, 50. And now the new Army rifle caliber is under construction. And let me explain that for a second. Because what they're running is they're operating out of 4 buildings in a massive multi-acre facility. They demolitioned one building to produce a new plant for the new caliber of U.S. Army ammunition. And as a result, they kind of moved other calibers around. And I noticed it about a year ago. And that's why I brought up I was born and raised here, is I noticed it about a year ago that on the radio, they would start advertising for people to come work in the ammo plant, desperate for workers. And that kind of went away. But now it's back in full force. Like, they're so desperate for employees right now. Locally, it is all over Facebook. It's all over the media. It's all over the radio. And they can't keep up. They cannot keep up. They do not have enough employees. As a matter of fact, if you go to the Facebook page of the Lake City Ammo Plant and you kind of scroll down a little bit, within the first, second, or third, you're going to notice that they're breaking news of hiring a company to go after people, to just somehow get more employees, because they just can't keep up. Everything that's happening in the world, everything that's happening with small arms in this country, really kind of levitates around Lake City Ammo Plant. Let's just be honest. In Independence, Missouri, when it comes to small arms, if you're looking at bigger shells, that revolves around the Pennsylvania plant. But when it comes to small arms, it's Lake City Ammo. All of small arms of the world revolve around that to some degree. Massive production. And apparently there are not enough employees. And I think that's something that needs to be noticed. I think it's something that needs to be discussed, because they just cannot keep up. Now, what is it they can't keep up with? Well, let's look at what their demand is. Number one, they have the U.S. Army they got to keep up with. They've never had a problem keeping up with that. Post-World War II, they've never had a problem keeping up. And then what you have is you have a lot of ammo going overseas. And then I think that's really the piece that's kind of keeping them behind, because other than that, there's a civilian contract that they need to keep up with. But that has always been the case. Always been the case. So if you look at just the U.S. Army need and you look at civilian need, there should not be a problem. You plug in exporting of ammo, a massive amount to Israel, massive amount to Ukraine, and they're desperate for employees, and that's what it's all about. So there you go. Right now, but if you happen to be a bullet maker, man, they're hiring in Lake City Ammo in Independence, Missouri. Not a bad place to live. I've been born and raised here. It's pretty good. If you happen to be a bullet maker, come on down, man. Any thoughts or insight on any of this, definitely put it below. I do want to take a moment and say most people watch this channel, hey, they're not subscribers. Click that subscribe button. It greatly increases the algorithm and our ability to get these messages out. That link is also below. But the most important part of this channel is we take prayer requests. So please don't ever hesitate to send that in. Thank you for watching this episode of God, Family, and Guidance. And as always, love God, love your family, love guns.